5.
Baby, don't hurt me.
4. Don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me.
No more.
No more.
What's up, High and Logical? So today we are here with my second number guest that I've ever had on my show, Charlie Ingham. This little cute ginger over here.
Strawberry blind.
Sorry, I'm not PC. Okay? I'm not PC enough for this. So, what are we talking about today, Charlie?
Oh, love, pretty much.
What is love?
Pretty much, yeah. Like the song goes, and like why some people get excluded out of the conversation of love and others don't. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
It's like so. Like, what did you have specifically in mind about who are like left out?
well. Oh, wow. I can't believe we're doing this. Okay, so, being straight nowadays is kind of like being gay in the old days. Kind of, sort of. Not like the same, but kind of the same.
I see where you're coming from, though.
Yeah.
Just because, because we were so prejudiced on them beforehand. That it's like now it's kind of backwards where people are like, wait, you're not gay? And like,
it's like you don't have like other things going on. It's like, nah, I'm just straight as fuck, man. I got a dog.
Straight as a bird.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's like I get why we get left out because obviously we killed gay people, fucking anything that wasn't straight. Really, we're like, oh, you're different, you're gonna die, pretty much. But nowadays, if we do that, you get a murder charge and you end up in jail for the rest of your existence, pretty much.
Yeah, facts.
So you can't do that, but you can, like, demean them or, like, make fun of them all of the time. And that's what they're doing to us, and that's just kind of like a constant loop of just nothing's getting done. It's pretty much like repeating the same things over and over and over again, trying to get the same, like, a different result, but getting the same result because it's the same argument every single time.
And just the argument of, like, just trying to be, like, to where...
Yeah, like, oh, you're gay, I hate you. Oh, you're straight, I hate you. Or it could be like, oh, you're gay, okay, whatever. I'm straight, okay, whatever.
See, I don't really think I've ever actually, like, seen that to where, like, you're straight and I don't like you. I don't think I've ever actually seen that before, but I don't...
You haven't scoured the internet hard.
I don't think it's definitely not unheard of. You know, us internet generation babies, like we know, like we've definitely seen it, something like that. But
yeah.
Me, I don't think I've ever actually visually seen
I mean, it's not
happen.
like obviously like that, but you can sense it in a way. Like, I mean, nowadays it's like if you have to support them regardless of what you believe. Even though if you like, I truly want to support that whole thing, but I can't because they're just pushing all of their stuff on me and making me feel like I have to be forced to accept all that shit. Like, I can't just accept it on my own, in my own terms. Like, I have to do it on their terms, at their time, at their house, at, like, everything. Like, nothing involves me being like, yo, I don't understand half the stuff you're talking about. Like, I don't get... Like, I get gay, I get bi.
So you're saying more in, like, the...
Like, the education part of it. Like, I didn't get taught any of this.
So, when we were growing up in school, you know, like, we knew that it was a thing that it's, like, it's okay to be gay.
Yeah, it's totally okay. Like, just don't, like...
Because there is no hate bashing. We don't hate that stuff. It's just that it's, like, we were told that at a very early age.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then it's, like, as it kept going into society... As more people were finally being able to openly free it, and then they, you know, as we got older, they were allowing gay marriage. Most states allowed gay marriage,
which is good. Like,
which is good because it's like, you know, like
love is love. Literally, love is love. Like, you can love whoever the fuck you want to love.
But I could agree with you that I think it's not like if I was confused about it, I would want to go up to somebody
and ask them,
knew,
and
like,
be like,
and just be like, hey, no offense, like, you know, like tell me your perspective on it. But when now, like, how the perspective is given to us, it's more, and it's still technically taught, but now it is all based on visual about, like, what we see, you know, and I believe that, like, you know, like, we should be able to give people these opportunities, like, movies, music, you know, and all this other stuff. But, like, I don't really think of, like, why it has to always be singularly directed at, like,
towards that.
They always have to specifically state that this character's gay. this show is a gay show.
Yeah, like you don't have to say any of that. You can just be like, yo, this is a show. Yeah, exactly. And it's a show.
It's because it kind of correlates with kind of like how Black Lives Matter a couple years ago, is that it's like we don't really need to identify them as being a black person on the news. They are a person.
They're just a dude doing their thing.
They are just a dude / girl / child / older person
getting their voice out
because they're just trying to get their voice out
because they're sick and tired.
They got hurt
or
they got involved in something.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is that it's like now we're just so politically correct of having to direct it that
we can't just say it how it is,
accept it, and just being like, oh yeah, this one guy is playing in this new movie. Oh, he's gay. Like, really, he's gay? I didn't know that. Like, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but now it's like, oh, he's gay, so it's obviously gonna be a gay. It's like, dude, did we ever? Like with the Tom Cruise movie, right? Like Maverick or like all his other things or like Matt Damon or all that stuff. Okay, all of those movies, no one was like, oh, he's straight, so they're going to have a straight relationship. It was like, oh, that's a movie and he's going to be a super secret agent spy and go do a really big bank heist that ends up not working out, but then works out at the end. Not like, oh, we have a movie with... Like we have a lead role. I can't even think of any act. I mean, I haven't watched enough of those stuff. I kind of stay away from it because they like the Red Panda movie, the new Disney one where they're talking.
I like that movie. That
movie
awesome.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard that they're just kind of throwing early like girl.
It's early puberty.
Early puberty. Yeah. Which it's cool because I went through all that. Like, I mean, we'll all go through it and whatnot. But you don't have. But they titled it as a kids movie, so like maybe like a little 6-7-year-old doesn't really know exactly what's going on with their body. So it's a good idea, but to like everybody else, it's like, why do you
see? But like, I don't really think that it really was that big of an issue, considering that for how they did it, like they weren't making it like really like you knew that it was about like the coming of age, but they weren't like specifically detailing or like they weren't like it wasn't like Big Mouth to where all of a sudden
where it's just right in your face, it's
and
totally
all that
in your
stuff,
face.
It's like they are really good on emphasizing the whole point of like the coming of age adolescent pubescent stage. So it's like I don't really understand why people really got so mad about when that movie came out.
It's just I feel like they're gonna see the future of where they're going with all these movies and how they're gonna keep pushing that agenda on everybody when we can't just get a normal Disney movie really. Like you can't get a normal Lion King anymore. You can't get a normal Mulan anymore.
Well, I mean, it's just the phase. Is that it's like everybody kind of wants their own little bit of pieces of it and all their other stuff. Like I don't really see it as like big changes when it comes to, replacing a straight character with an actual like gay actor. I don't really see that as being a problem. Like look at Secrets of Dumbledore. Is that it's like I don't know if Jude Law or Mads Mikkelsen is gay. But I'm just saying is that it's like they could still play it off really well that they could be. And even I think wherever Matt Mikkelsen is technically from, I think is somewhere in Europe, is that it's like in Europe that is very common around there. Everybody is so open about their sexuality.
And then you come over here and
don't even care.
It's just the
World War IV. Well, they come over here and they're just like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
like
we don't
even care about
we're
this
yelling
stuff.
at each other about dumb shit all the time. Like right now, like I'm screaming at the world just to stop being dumb and just tell it how it is. Like we don't talk anymore. Like
well, it's because that when it comes to talking, we fight because we're trying to fight about why both of us why we both either need to be equal or why both of us need to be right.
And like not a lot of people can accept being wrong anymore, which I get. Like, it's hard to be wrong.
And I think that I think that actually correlates really well when it comes to like what is love, is that it's like people would rather just like have their own definition of what is going on around it
than like, not see the reality of
they're
it.
just like based on science this is what I know that love is, but that's not
it's not really
like that because that scientifically that a man and a woman are supposed to make a child. That is how we are supposed to be.
That's what the science says, but with us that is not what it is. Like love is you can love a dog like as you love a human. But not like not like love a dog, but like the emotion that you feel towards a dog, you can put that towards a person, and it's like the same exact thing. Like I love the crap out of my dog. Like out of all the things in this world, I could say that I love my dog more than most things. And if I had a person like that, and if I loved a person the way that I love my dog, I think that that's the way that I feel love. Like, every time I see her, there's a big-ass smile on my face. Like, I baby talk the crap out of her, even though I tell myself I'm not going to baby talk the crap out of her. Like, I see her, and just my mood instantly lifts. Like, that's what I think love is. Love is, like, you can go see a person or see a thing, and every, like, problem that you've had up until that point just kind of, like, fades away.
Yeah, well, and then I think, like, that even kind of goes along really well with with polygamy now, since polygamy's coming up. You know, is that it's, like, my understanding of it is that it's, like, if I can put my love towards more than one person, and that doesn't always have to technically mean sexual love, I don't really see that as being a problem of being able to have more relationships like that in your more inner circle of relationships.
True, but if you're a person that doesn't see that way,
it makes it hard.
Yeah, you look at them and you're like, oh, they just have 2 girlfriends. What a swinger!
No, yeah,
like, gee whiz, man.
They're thinking about him more as a player rather than it really is about like
what's going on inside his brain.
But I mean, it's not like that's really unheard of even for people around our age, or even when we were partying. In high
when I was
school
in high school,
like
I knew guys that had like 3-4 girlfriends.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, granted, we all thought that they were man-hoes, but like once I got out of that, I was like, okay, maybe he actually kind of gave some effort into that. Like,
but it really just depends on how that one individual really built it down. If he was pretty much just treating them as where it's like you're all my side hoes and bodies, like I don't really care about you, then no, that's nothing. Like that's lust, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But if he was like a pimp but nice, and he didn't pay them to go bang other guys, like other chicks, but it was just like they all worked together pretty much.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of how I feel of how any relationship really has to be, is that it's like even if it is 1 or 2, like 2 people or 2 plus more, is that it's like if you don't have the communication to be able to tell your significant other, then there is no relationship.
Like if you can't tell somebody that you hate the way that they do something, but like, and then if they can't take it, then what's the point of doing it, right?
Yeah.
Which is going back to the whole thing, like we got the LGBTQ people looking at straight people like we're the demons nowadays, even though most of the stuff that's happened was not us. It was like our parents' generation or the generation before us that were just going ham and cheese on all of them. But now, like, with us growing up into this whole, like, we got to accept everybody for who they are, like, regardless of what you think, you have to accept them in your brain. It gets confusing. Like, what can you do? What can't you do? Who can you, like, trust? Who can't you trust? Like, what can you say? What can't you say? Like, I can't think of all of the things that I can and can't say nowadays. Like, I can't say what I could say back in 2010. Like, I can't make just a nice little, like, oh, hey, like a nice little gay joke or a nice little, like, racist joke every now and again. Like, I can't say that because if I say it, someone gets offended by it, even though it's a joke, and granted, jokes can be taken 2 different ways. Like, you either hate it or you love it. But, which, like, of course, if somebody hates it, you instantly get, like, just beat down. Like, either you lose your job, you lose that friend, you lose all the respect that you had, like, from them. And it's just, like, granted, it's a joke, and you made the joke, and you got to take the consequences of the joke. But there shouldn't be that big of a punishment for saying, oh, little joke.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is that it also depends if you really feel that way.
Yeah.
You know, like most people will really kind of get. I think the one thing that really is like the most confusing about it is that I think when it comes to our older generation, right, they've learned all this fucking bullshit. You know, over their years of where it's just like, you know, like our generation is off of our parents and still our grandparents because most of our grandparents are still around. Yeah, but theirs is going based on what their parents and their grandparents
way back when.
That's if you want to talk about needing some PC, they needed some.
Yeah,
PC,
like they were around when like Jim Crow was around, like when this whole segregation thing was just starting. Yeah, like
we just don't need it.
And that's what everybody looks at when they look at people that are just normal. Yeah. Well, what would you even consider normal nowadays? Well, like, there really isn't a normal. Yeah. Like,
so then, continuing after that, though, is that it's like now that we have become so PC, which PC, I don't really think PC is all that bad, but then I feel like it
gets annoying.
But I feel like it gives people a reason just to think that they're right.
True.
Because it's just a more of like a higher, like, righteous kind of thing, I feel, to where it's like, oh, like, you accidentally called me the wrong thing. I'm a he, she. You know, like, even though that my always thing is like I'll call anybody a dude. My dude. What's up, dude? My guys. Like later guys, you know, like even though I know that there's some girls in the freaking crowd, you know. It's like I don't really think that there's always a necessary for me to have to be PC.
To be specific about what you're talking about.
And so then since the people that we are unlearning from are now also having to learn what we have to learn. Also go the way that we are going is because that they also have to make sure that they are being PC or make sure that they are actually being respectful because, I mean, damn, there are still some old people out here that surprise the crap out of me. Yeah. And I mean, literally, I'm just like, how are you doing this?
Because they don't care.
And that, you know, and like the whole point of not caring is I feel like, you know, like when you were saying about like what is accepted, you know, like what, like being accepted, is that acceptance is not really looked for most of the time nowadays, but it is. But I feel like it's more acceptance is more looked into about what you are already perceived as. Rather than it really is what you're actually speaking about.
Yeah.
And so then us, you know, because it's like even though that we're be like, yeah, we're so down for them, you know, like get your rights, go do whatever the heck you want to do.
Do what you want.
Like, be who you want to be as a person, but yet because that we're not still following the trend, that people will just be like, you guys are just ridiculous.
Your opinion doesn't matter because you don't support them. It's like just because we don't support them doesn't mean that like I don't give a crap. Like I would much rather have them just get all of the things that they want now than wait for it because it's getting annoying. Like if I look at my Snapchat, like I just see all of these things just hating on anything and everything that isn't like them pretty much. Like if it isn't your idea now, then it's not the right idea. Like you can't like get another point of view on something without getting it shut down by the other person.
Well, and that's because instead of being individual about ideas,
you got to be a group.
We are run by idealism of groups. Exactly. Yeah. We always are having to be to the point where you have to join the group. You have to join the cause.
Yeah, you have to be with somebody else to do something.
Yeah, or like somebody who is actually like, or get notified by somebody who is like, you know, known just so that you can get your point across. Be like, oh, that guy's with that one dude that I know that's been really important. Yeah, that guy definitely does that.
Yeah, but then there's the guy that
weren't like that, but yet you still said the same exact things. It'd be like, oh shit,
it don't matter, dude.
Don't matter. Yeah, you have no support.
You're a nobody.
At all.
Yeah, like no one really hears what somebody has to say unless you have clout.
And then they all wonder why when they're actually trying to get a better message out though that
why we don't listen to them.
It's like, it's just because we're all run by fucking PC clout chasers that just don't really give a fuck about actually like being able to listen to this the self idealism. And then having all their crap of the group idealism just being like shoved in there, like, and then it's all festering. Like, this isn't what we all agree on and stuff like that. But you can't ever just think about it as looking outside the box.
Yeah, like
that's what my whole entire show is. How much looking outside the dang box.
Yeah, no one really does that. We're all in the box. Yeah, I think COVID put us in the box.
I said that last time too, is because it's like if you look of how everybody's separated when COVID hit.
And then
everybody's just chilling in their house. Nobody can talk to each other.
Yeah, but you can use
everybody's
the internet.
own opinions and specialized ideas are all coming into fruition, and everybody's just getting all that shit out. Yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff that has come out.
There has. There really has.
But there's been a lot of fucking trash at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and then especially when it comes to how it is now about going back to where it's like, what is love? You know, is that it's like people can't even just take it anymore to where it's just like love can literally just be a simple thing of just, dude, I can see on social media that you're really being down right now, bro.
You need some help, dog?
You need some help. Do you need some moral support? Do you need me to literally just like tell you that you're gonna be okay? Because it's like being able to show compassion is still a minor sense of love.
Yeah.
And people are so scared about showing compassion, and then they mix up compassion with love, and then they can't ever freaking tell the difference between the two.
Yeah. And I try my hardest to be as nice as I possibly can to everybody, unless somebody gives me a reason for me to be like, fuck you, I don't like you anymore.
Like the basis of being like consistently nice is hard. Just because it's like not everything.
It gets tiring.
It gets tiring because you're always having to people please, or even just like of having to constantly be nice. Is that it's like you can't show your true colors just because you're being respected. Yeah. But respect is like the biggest thing you want to be able to show because the first 5 seconds of what somebody thinks of you is literally the first 5 seconds of whatever the hell you're doing based on how you're dressed, how you look, and how you talk.
Pretty much, yeah. And then if you don't pass those criteria, if somebody who like likes the things that they like, then you're just boned. Like you can't convince them. Like if you look like an absolute slob and they don't like slobs, right? But in your head, you have all of these beautiful ideas, all of this other stuff that you can contribute to them and maybe help them out to understand what like who you are. So if they see another person like you, they'll be like, oh, maybe they're not so bad, or maybe they're a complete butt. Like who knows?
Yeah, but then there's also the other people though that are literally just getting
out there
sensitive.
To just, yes.
And it's not more of where I'm like actually like directing this at something specific. Like for example, it would be you show a girl, guy, anybody that they want, that you know, something really nice, you know, have a great day or anything like that. And then, you know, like some people would just be like, what are you trying to do? You know, try to get in him DMs and just like, you know, like slash your body or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
it's
that.
like,
apparently, like people can't even take it. That basic compassion is all of a sudden just idolized as being a hoe, a slut, anything like that. Just because it's like, oh, you're talking to somebody, like you're
being nice to them.
You fucking like
them. Yeah.
Like it all of a sudden ends up just turning into a whole middle school thing about shit like that, to where people can't literally just be nice to somebody. Like, and it just has to be taken into lust or love or compassion and all those different things.
Most of the time you learn all that stuff when you kind of grow up a little bit, like not a lot. Like I haven't grown up a whole lot. Exactly. You gotta give it all. You fail. You gotta pick yourself back up.
If a girl or a guy denies you, I mean, yeah, it's gonna.
Oh well,
suck,
dude, just keep rolling.
There are 7 other billion.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro. You got plenty of time to swing.
Yeah, and nowadays you can swing whatever way you want to swing, but you can't swing straight. Like if you want to be straight, you have to like.
I think it's
do everything by the book to please everybody else. Like you can't just be you. Like,
I think maybe it couldn't be just so where it's just like they don't want people to be straight. It's just like maybe it's just because that we have backwashed it so bad that it's just like people are kind of just tired of hearing it. Which I could get that.
Yeah,
I totally understand that, because like even if you think about like for how we've been depicting ourselves as humans over millennia, is that it's like it's always involving Adam and Eve. It's never could be Adam and Dave.
or or like Eve and Anne, or like whatever.
You know, so it's like that I could see that to maybe where it could just be a whole big backwashing thing. But I mean,
but I still don't.
It's still basic human nature. We can't forget about it. We can't erase it with a magic erase marker and just hope to God.
We just have to learn and live from. Like
it's just that it's like everybody just has to understand of what love could be, in at least maybe some general way. Like I don't think they really have to direct it to where they really need to label it. They just need to have a way of where it's like, what is a general standard of love?
Yeah, exactly. Like, the way that they're presenting it is not the greatest way to present it, in my mind.
I totally agree with that.
Because once you, like, you exclude somebody out of a group, right, that sees your group in a way that is the same as what you think that you are, then it makes no sense to you. It's like, I think the same way as you. I do most of the things that you guys do, except I think, like, one of my ways that I think is a little different than yours, which then automatically just excludes me out of the conversation. And it's like, dude, like, I would love to learn more about you, but I can't, because you guys can't automatically label me. Relate. Exactly. It's like you automatically label me as something that is a horrible person based on my past.
Yeah, or, well, not even based on your past specifically, but just our human past.
Yeah, human past. Exactly.
Which is crap.
Yeah, it's really, yeah. No.
And it could, and, like, sometimes I believe in that whole thing that, like, history likes to repeat itself, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like that's just a way to crush people.
I mean, it's kind of doing it now.
But I feel like that's just a way to say it, just to crush people's dreams. Because it's like, if you don't want them to go forward and escalate, then the only way that you're going to make sure that you're going to do that, you're going to suppress them. You're going to make sure that they stay in their stupid-ass idealistic ways that have already been taught, because they don't want to put anything up in the drawing board anymore.
True, they don't want to add more to the, like, more
because
and
it
more.
just makes it more complicated for whoever we may be referencing to.
True,
but it's just like something that they just don't really want to do. It's because we're getting lazy. We'd rather just come up with all these.
We'd rather do the easy way.
We'd rather have it to where it becomes one big thing, like a sphere with a bunch of different fucking sticks pointing out of it that all lead into different things.
Yeah.
But yet correlate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We'd rather just have it to where it's like, oh, we were just talking about this too with like certain synonyms and antonyms. You know, is that it's like there's so many of them that all mean the same thing, but yet people are
but they don't at the same time.
Mean the same thing.
Yeah.
But then you're like, this does mean the same thing. You're like, really? Does it though? Because I know a more simpler word that can really define that. Because I say coagulation, they can't just like, you mean like, dried up blood? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like if that's whatever helps you sleep at night, sure. But
yeah, like I would just love to understand why they added all of the other things that don't involve being straight. Unless I'm like a girl, but I like girls still, or I turn into a girl and then I like boys still, which then I'm still considered straight or something like that along those lines.
I guess I wouldn't really know about that one per se.
Like
either.
I just don't want to have to take the extra steps.
That does make it really complicated. You just
exactly
like I don't really know.
I don't want to take the extra steps to do something so I can get my point across. Like I just want to keep my point and not have to like keep adding on to it.
And I feel like that could also kind of go with the surnames. You know, is that it's like maybe they could just do it if maybe it's just whatever you are into is maybe just like, you know, like your
just say you're like into people,
like changing your sex.
Which I mean, I get it's like, you know, some people don't want to be a guy, they want to be a chick. Like,
but it's
good on you, man.
And it's like I feel like maybe like with the whole gender thing is that it's like they have to like involve the whole gender with their sexuality, because then we're all of a sudden combining them to the point to where it's all these other different things that people just don't know about. Like I could pull up a whole freaking
a whole list of everything that they have,
you know, a whole list, and there'd be like 60 things.
And then and I
don't even know what half of
59% of them, like 59 of those things, you don't even know what they what they are, and it's just like, do you just make them up as you go along, or do you just find something that you love and then you put a name on it? Like why can't you just say I love that, or I love them, I love her, I love him, I love my dog, I love my car, I love my house, I love the air, I love the trees. Like, why can't you just say I love it instead of putting like, oh, I'm bi, or I'm trans, or I'm queer, or I'm all these other things. Just say that you love that thing, and then we don't have to like, then it's like, oh, okay, you like them, okay, what, like, all right, good on you, man. You don't have to put that crazy label in front of it that confuses everybody else in the world that doesn't understand half the things.
And that's probably why people get so pissed off too.
It's because there's just so many labels
that they would just rather just be like, they base it on what they have already been taught, and then they're integrating it with the new system to the point where they get frustrated at it, like a really hard algebra problem.
True.
I give up in school.
True.
Screw this. I'm not doing this. I hate this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they would just rather not look at the math problem instead of just being like, you know what, I'm gonna fail today. Screw it.
I'll try again tomorrow. Whatever.
That's the.
Which, I mean, I do understand why they put labels on it, so that they can be individual.
Yeah.
And, like, they can exclude themselves from the group.
And that point right there is the main, you know, like, is the main point of the label. Is that it's, like, to be able to make it, like, it's kind of like a hashtag. Or something that it's, like, you know, like, to make sure that people know how to find you.
Yeah.
You know? And I can completely get with that, because that's how pretty much social media is.
Yeah, that's how it works. You put a label in front of something, and everybody knows what you are. But at the same time, it makes it way more complicated for people who don't have any idea what you're talking about. Like, if they truly want, like, I truly want to get to know more people. Like, I've been sitting in my house for the past 2 years, working my ass off every single day, basically, not doing anything else outside of work, because why would I want to go outside of work? Because the world's just, it may seem pretty and great on the outside, but on the inside, it's just a big old pile of crap that no one has been able to detangle yet.
But that's also just because that it's also kind of a thing to where they pretty much put it on our shoulders without us actually
knowing it.
It's not really needing to know it. It's, I think, the needing to actually think it's necessary for us to fucking care.
Yeah, and I don't, like, at this moment, I don't care.
It's literally like us getting a bunch of, like, bull crap from somebody else. Like, they're putting all of their problems out on us that they know that they need to fix on it, but they just involved us with it now.
Yeah, and it's
like that's pretty much like how the world really feels like to me, is just that it's like they'd rather just push everybody else's problems and be like, hey, come help me. I need help. Like, come, like, do this whole thing. But then that person
that you're screaming at for help, they need help too, because they don't know what the hell's going on.
Because they're also trying to find their own place in the fucking universe.
Yeah,
as
like,
they're just getting eaten alive by some human vacuum or something.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I mean, The group thing is good because humans are notoriously known for being in groups of like that's how we survived all these thousands of years.
That's how kingdoms start. That's how war starts. That's
true,
how everything
but every kingdom starts with one person and an idea, and then they find more people with that same idea. Nowadays, you need to have a group of people that all come up with the one idea, not one dude being like, "Yo, let's do this," and they're like, "I was thinking the same exact thing." Instead, it's like you find 5 other people, you talk about it, you all say the same exact thing, then it's their idea, not like that one person's idea, so they can feel they can feel good about having an idea instead of having everybody else share the idea.
Well, and it doesn't also help too that it's like when everybody thinks of the idea, everybody, you know, as in it's like of course like everybody has their own sense of entitlement.
Yeah,
to
because
it.
Then they think that it's their idea instead of the person sitting next to them.
And then that's when they're getting too busy getting influence confused with personality. They, you know, like my whole thing right here is that it's like, you know, like this has all been based on influence of rap music, what I've been taught, people that I believe in, people that I feel like are actually going to make a difference when it comes to like what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's what gives me the idea of that anybody can do that. Anybody. And when it comes to the whole thing about being able to start your group, start your fan base or whatever, your actually bigger cause, is that it's like you also need to find your own sense of individualism, but also make sure that everybody else is still kind of getting their own sense too.
Yeah.
And not just making it to where it's like we all have this one thing, we only think with one thing.
Yeah, we only think the same thing.
It's like all of a sudden turning into where everybody...
A hive mind, basically.
Exactly. I was just going to say that because all of a sudden everybody's one individual bee, but then all of a sudden they realize that the queen and
we need to please the queen.
Everybody's coming by. We need to do something.
Instead of why can't I just go help the queen out by myself? Yeah. Like why can't I just go out of the hive, grab some stuff by myself, and be like,
probably
aha!
Just basic human instinct. It's like it's not. I wouldn't even say it's more human instinct. It's more of just animal instinct.
Survival, really?
It's a survival instinct because that we realize that by ourselves we are nothing, but with numbers we are everything.
Yeah, but you can be everything by yourself if you just give that little extra time to like think about all of the things that you want to think.
To find your own way of being yourself.
Exactly. Which is what I would love to happen now. Instead of getting getting trashed on for being white and straight all the time. Even though it's not directed towards me, but it's directed towards people that like I'm exactly the same as. So which then gives me the idea that if I met those same people, they'd have the same exact opinion of me, pretty much. But it's not, because I'm a completely different person than them. But I just happen to have the same skin color and like the same things as them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I think the way that they think. Like I'm down to learn everything and anything about all of these things that are going on in the world, because I don't know half the shit that's going on. Like the BLM movement, like I get it kind of, but I don't at the same time.
That's all that we can, is that it's literally how it is pretty much stated, is that it's like we get it, but we don't get it.
Exactly.
We can't relate because we are not like that.
Yeah, we get why you're like
but
this.
we understand why you guys are mad, and then mad, pissed off at the world, because then it's like then you look at some of the other groups that are also going through that, like the LGBTQA plus or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that it's like they're also experiencing the same thing, to where is that it's like if you understand, but if you don't truly get it, all you really can do is just try your best and support.
True.
You know?
But now that's not enough. Like if you're trying your best, they don't care. Like they want you to support them instantly. Yeah. Not let them give you time to just think about it all and be like, okay, I don't understand what you're talking about. What you say to me, it just doesn't make sense at all. I don't care, but not like in a bad way. Yeah. I don't care because I don't get it. Like I'm never going to be able to understand what the hell's going on.
And then it's because of the minimal that you can actually do is also the reasoning of how much you actually can care.
True.
If there's only so much that a person can do, then they realize there's no worth in it, but just to be able to do the best that they can do, at least, and just be like, I support you and that's it. Then that's all you can really do. If that's really like if your back's against the wall like that and that's pretty much all you're just pinpointed to, just leave it.
That's all you can do, instead of throwing it down that person's throat until they give in.
And then that's where you pretty much just have to go into the different direction of love and bring more self-love in.
True,
because that's for a final conclusion for this, because I realize that it is 1:30. That self-love is always the most important. You know, like it's a completely different.
If you don't
type
love
of
yourself,
love.
you can't love anything else.
But exactly. If you can't love yourself, then how can you expect to love another person? And when it comes to self-love, is that it's like people have lost self-love fucking years ago.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
People do not. People are so stuck in here nowadays that they just do not care about being able to make sure that they are happy. You know, just making sure that they can accept how other people are to make them happy, and then accept of how they are for themselves to be happy, to be able to support themselves. Because it's like some people are actually like, I'm sure there's probably still plenty of people that just don't want to come out, you know, or anything like
because why would you want to come out nowadays?
Because
if you come out, you got one option, also, you're gonna get shit on.
Yeah.
Other option, you're gonna get accepted.
Yeah.
But
it's also
depending on where you live.
But it's also based around ecosystem. It's also based around how everybody else already believes in that town, city, country, wherever it may be.
Like there's not a universal thinking. I mean, they're trying to get a universal thinking. They're just doing it the wrong way. They're doing it how we did it.
See, but the thing is, who's the ones that are actually trying to get the universal thinking, bro? That's
the wrong people.
The wrong people. They're the ones that want that universal thinking that they are not they're
not capable of. Exactly.
They can't do it.
They're
too busy run by old sadistic ways of pretty much just fucking greed, and that's it. You know, like they'd rather just turn it into a buck than actually making sure that people can actually give their fucking voice.
Exactly. Yeah, but no one really gets a voice now.
Yeah, and then even with self-love, that's suppressed as much too, because they would rather have it to where you can't. They'd rather have it to where you can't love yourself. Fuck you. You gotta make sure that you
are a robot.
You have to make sure that you're feeling like you're dying every day.
Yeah.
For you to be,
because it makes me feel better.
Because it makes me feel better.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't just please yourself anymore. Yeah. You just can't be selfish.
Because it's considered selfish.
But being selfish is an amazing thing sometimes.
And it's because it's also how you used it. My mother literally was like, if being selfish leads to you being happy, do it. You know, that's your best thing that you can fucking do for yourself.
Yeah, and then at some point it might change.
The more selfish decisions are the ones that are the most healthiest for you,
because it's
you realize that you yourself realize that this is not working for you. So, do it.
Exactly, and that's what it is. Like, we just need to give out more love and not preach about love.
Yeah.
Just give it out.
Show the compassion and show the love, instead of saying that I'm going to do it, but I haven't.
But I haven't done it because they're different than me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just do it. Just do it. Just give them something. Throw them a bone.
Acceptance is already a little bit amount of love. Already.
Exactly.
It's caring. It's a little bit of just caring and love.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it would take. That's all it would take if they just fucking if everybody who's against them just went up to them and we had a really big talk about all this dumb shit that we've been yelling at each other for the past 3 years, and we all realize that it's a bunch of bullshit and that they're doing it the exact same way that we did it to them, where we just prejudice, pain, suffering, fuck you, I'm right, you're wrong, get bent.
Yeah.
Instead of just, why?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we just get along? I don't see.
Why do I need to get bent?
Exactly.
Why
it's like, why
do I need to be angry?
I'm not even pissed at
you.
Yeah, pain? It's like, I'm not even pissed at you, dude. Like, we just fucking met. Give it a chance. Just give it a chance.
First
That's
instance,
all it is.
I see you, snap. I don't like
exactly. Just give it a little bit of a chance.
Well, but that's the entire point of what I try to do this for, though, is that because it's like, somebody who may be watching this might just be like, dude, these kids are fucking on something, and I love it, you know? Like, that's the entire reason that I want people, like, what I want people to react on. That's why I wanted to see what your idea was, just because it's like, I knew that it was probably going to be something I'm like, I've been antsy on, just because it's like, I hate just pushing that limit. But I need to push that limit.
You need to push the limit all the time. I need to push
those borders just because it's like, these are the most interesting topics, because we are actually going
because no one talks about it because they're scared of it.
Because they would rather just have it to where it's like, nope, I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, you know, it's like fuck it.
It's literally like watching a whole reel of 2016 and all of a sudden it's getting PTSD.
Yeah.
You know? But of course we'd rather just watch the reel and not talk about it with our therapist. We'd rather just cry.
Yeah, exactly. We would just say some words, get it off our chest, and then be like, wow, I am dumb. I am really dumb.
Because then I feel once people would actually understand of how much of a dumbass they're actually being, because nobody likes admitting that they're a dumbass. The ego of the human brain has become so big nowadays that it's like people can't get off that pedestal. they'd rather literally just look at him like fucking some goddamn
I am
badass
superior.
anime character and be like, I'm going to crush all of you.
Exactly. Or instead of being the little nerd that says it how it is because he knows he's a dumbass.
Yeah. Because we would just rather understand that our failures are something that are really more easy for us to get by rather than just crying about it and not talking about it.
Yeah, like you just hide yourself in a hole instead of talking about the problem.
For real. For real. Will it change? The world may never know.
You never know, man.
How many licks does it get to take to the center of a human brain? Well, it might take a lot of licks.
It might.
Well, I'm glad that you came by. This was a really fun topic. I actually enjoyed it the entire time. We got to do another one because I feel like we flew into it really well, the good old Cash Money. But please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. I know I'm sure there's going to be a lot of butthurt people out there. I don't like this topic, but deal with it. You guys got to be able to you guys got to be able to talk about some harder stuff than just crying about it. So, all right. Peace, love. You guys have a great week. Stay cool. It's going to be hot, but I wish I was living in my pool.
I wish I was in Alaska. That'd be cool.
Alaska?
Nice and cold.
Dude, I always wanted to go see those freaking
the auroras?
Not the auroras, but the considerable twilight time.
Oh, yeah, it's always dark.
Twilight, or always light because of twilight. I'm like,
I think that's like spring or fall or something.
I think they have it like twice a year.
Probably. I don't know. They have like one season.
Yeah.
Sun.
A bunch of sun or eternal darkness.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
The eternal darkness will come. They always come. For us all.